Hey guys. So I wanted to share something that I've kind of struggled with on my awakening journey in terms of understanding a concept in regards to a specific topic, and that is about casual sex. So before my awakening, I was definitely pro casual sex because I feel like who am I to judge somebody and what they want to do with their own body and what they want to do with their own life, right? And I'm not gonna lie, in college, obviously, a lot of us were pro casual sex then. It was fun. It was like what a lot of people did in college and, thereafter. But when I had my awakening, all of a sudden, I like organically went into this conservative kind of viewpoint in regards to that topic. It was like, I couldn't get past that when you exchange energy with someone, how powerful that can be. And that if you just sleep with people, you don't know what their trauma is. You don't know what type of baggage or negative energy that they're carrying or demons that they're carrying on them. That you are susceptible to when you exchange energy with someone sexually. Like the most some of the most powerful energy there is that creative sexual energy. And yeah, so I couldn't it's been hard for me to get past the idea that like polyamory and casual sex and all that kind of thing are divine. And I know all is divine because if somebody is on that path where they're exploring those things, that's part of their growth process. That's part of their healing process. They might have lessons that need to be learned that could be best learned and more quickly learned by going through that and learning those lessons. In my opinion, things like polyamory, where you're with multiple people, I don't feel like the collective consciousness is at a high enough vibration that it's able to handle something like that. Even awakened people, when you get in relationships and you're interacting with each other and you're exchanging energy and all these emotions come up like jealousy and all that, if you were in like relationships like that, like it's inevitable, right? And I've heard people say, well, like, that's the perfect opportunity to work on things like that. Which I understand that point. But I also feel like when you're like walking a high vibrational journey, you have integrity. So your actions and the way they impact other people, that matters. So it's one thing if you're in a mutually like polyamorous relationship where both people are like, okay, you can sleep with people, I can sleep with people, right? But if you know deep down, and I've seen this in the spiritual community, you know deep down the other person probably doesn't want to be polyamorous. They probably would rather be monogamous, but a lot of times the other person convinces them like, oh, that like we should be able to love everyone. Like you've heard people use spiritual concepts to do egoic things. If you know that your actions would hurt somebody, then that's not really of integrity. Like if you don't want to hurt somebody, then don't interact with them to begin with. So for me, I feel like if polyamory is something that would be healthy in a spiritual concept, in a spiritual way, like, is this divine? That's what I always ask myself. Like, if I'm questioning, like, whether something is, like, appropriate, high vibrational, I guess you could say. If I'm questioning that, if I'm questioning, I already know the answer. But if I'm questioning it, I'll always ask myself, is this divine? It's like those corny old WWJD bracelets. What would Jesus do? Except when you say, is this divine? Like, for some reason, that's such a powerful statement for me to use in my life, because as soon as I say that, I know whether the thing I'm talking about is divine or not. And I'm like, okay, thank you for that quick, easy answer, spirit. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I know this is a super controversial topic. And I know everyone has a different path. Like, maybe that is right for some people and not, it is just not another person's bag, you know? But is it always, for me, my question is it the highest, I don't know, the highest vibrational space you can come from, um, at this point in our collective consciousness's journey? I don't think that we're ready for those things. I don't think I've even seen people that are very high vibe and been well on their spiritual journey that could function and just be super happy in a polyamorous relationship. I just feel like like as human beings and where we're at collectively in our consciousness, we're not there yet. We're not there where we're just gonna like share everyone, and then just everyone feels at peace with that. No one feels jealousy. Everyone's happy with it. I just don't know if that's where we're at. Like, that's just me, like, throwing ideas into the air and throwing thoughts into the air, because I like to share, things that come to my mind with you guys, so that we all can create conversation and come to like as many perspectives as we possibly can to make I don't know, to expand, because that's kind of like why we're here, right? To expand infinitely. That's why the universe wants to experience itself in each and every one of us, to have that different experience. So maybe I just answered my own question in that the universe wants to have those experiences so it can infinitely expand and be as diverse as possible, which is another reason why there's the dark. It's not wrong. The dark is not wrong. It's just the universe experiencing itself in that vibration, from that experience, from that perspective. But anyways, guys, I'm just like chattering because I'm waiting for my bedding to get done in the dryer. That came to my mind. Is it divine to wear cosmic pussy on your shirt? Don't take life too seriously. I'm just throwing these ideas out there. I personally don't feel like I would be happy in a polyamorous relationship or exchanging energy casually with just, I don't know. That's just my opinion, but you guys can share your thoughts below. And I'm not judging you if you do that, just so you know. I'm totally not judging anyone. I'm just sharing my thoughts and opinions, because we're all human, and it's cool to just bounce each other's ideas off each other, or each other's perspectives off each other, because when you do that, you expand, because you can see life from a different view. And that's what a lot of us lack in general, is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and really say, like, you know what I mean? Like, give a fuck. And I think that's what happens in those types of relationships. I feel like there's always that selfish person who really is just like, what? You agree that we can see other people, so, like, why are you upset? Like, the person's upset because they care about you. But you don't care enough about them to care about how your actions impact other people. And those are the type of situations I see, and it's just hard for me to, when I ask that question, is this divine, fully feel like it is. So it's definitely situational. I'm sure there's situations that could be divine that are polyamorous, and I'm sure there's plenty that aren't, But technically everything's divine, because everything's a part of somebody's growth process and journey, and there's nothing that isn't perfect. You can take the most negative situation, and the universe is working that out and experiencing that for a reason that we probably can't even wrap our heads around. That I know for sure we can't wrap our heads around. We can't even come close to wrapping our heads around the way this universe works and what it's all about and what it's for. That we have just scratched the surface. The most woke human being on this planet has just scratched the surface. So just keep that in mind. And that's why I like to have these types of conversations, because I don't want to be closed-minded. That's why I don't want to say no to anything, like polyamory or something. But at the same time, I know that when somebody isn't vibrationally ready for something like that, unless everybody involved is really vibrationally ready for something like that, I don't think it's very healthy. I don't think it's acting of integrity. But, yeah, just some thoughts. Love you guys.